And yeah, happy Friday. One more week. You have butterflies? Oh, I just suggested to my sister to get butterflies for her kids, one who is autistic. Almost. All right, let's get started. We are going to talk about the auroras in the Arctic sky. Now, look at how beautiful this is, boys and girls. Wow. Don't you want to see that? Like, imagine we just looked up at night and it was all of these different colored lights. Like, that is so beautiful. But remember, in Alaska, at night, which is the Arctic, at night, the sun is still out. In the middle of the night, when it's supposed to be super dark, the sun is still out. So we're going to learn all about these lights, how they came to be, and what they are. They are called auroras. Auroras. That's my friend's daughter's name, Aurora. Because these lights are so beautiful. Okay. So they're colorful and they move. And you can see them in the Arctic sky. They're called auroras or the northern lights. So if you watch Disney, they talk about the northern lights a lot in Disney movies. But this is what they're talking about, these beautiful auroras in the Arctic sky. Colorful, swaying light. So they kind of like sway back and forth in the air, like giant glowing curtains. Like that is beautiful. It can be blue, pink, yellow, purple. So let's think about our night sky. What do we see when we look up in the sky at night? What do we see? Okay.
I see moon and stars, white stars.
Yes, the moon and the stars. And that's pretty much all we see. We don't really see the auroras, the beautiful, bright, colorful lights. But we see the moon, the stars. We might see a shooting star, the North Star, which is still beautiful. But these auroras, or colorful lights, they can be kind of dim, like not very bright. So that's what dim means, not very bright. But they can also be so bright that they light up everything, like a giant reading light in a sky. That is so cool. And of course, the people in the Arctic love to tell stories about the northern lights. They tell stories saying that the lights are spirits, that they're actually playing up there, they're having fun up there. And some other people think that the lights are a bridge to another world. That's cool. Nature, sometimes things that we can't really explain, we just like to make up stories to have an explanation for it. And that helps us to feel better and more certain about things. So if you had to tell a story about these bright lights in the sky, what would you tell? What would be your story that you would tell? I would say someone is having a concert up there, there's bright lights and they're singing and dancing. That's what I think is happening. What would be your story about the northern lights? Okay.
It looks like aliens are having a party.
Oh yeah, aliens are having a party. That's a good one too. Stories are really fun, but we're going to find out what these lights really are, the science behind it. So for thousands of years, people have been sharing their hypotheses or their predictions observing the lights and inventing lots of new tools to help them answer this question. What are the lights? Because no one knew. So one thing they wondered was whether they can predict when the auroras would appear in the sky. So just like the weatherman says tomorrow is going to rain, scientists want to predict tomorrow there's going to be the northern lights. Tomorrow the sky is going to be blue and pink and green. So that's what they wanted to do. And when we talked about when Jack and Annie went to the moon, we talked a lot about the moon and the phases of the moon. So people have noticed changes in the sky and all the phases of the moon, and they observe that the moon has patterns. Now we know that the moon doesn't actually change shape. What's actually happening to the moon? It's not changing shape. It's still one big sphere. But what is really happening to it? What's covering it? Giovanni?
That is in the morning, and that is the night, and that is the night.
Maybe. Sometimes the moon is out in the morning. You can see the moon in the morning, but the sun is just brighter. So the moon is not changing shape. It's not becoming this little banana over here. It's the sun that's blocking the moon. So in the Arctic, they found out that the phases of the moon always appear in the same exact order. So they can predict what phase the moon is going to be in. So every 27 days, there's going to be a full moon. Every 27 days, there's going to be a full moon. And they say when there's full moons, this is another story. When there's a full moon, that children of the world are going to be super happy, excited, and sometimes they might forget to follow directions. So when there was a full moon, when there was going to be a full moon every 27 days, Miss Marrero had to go to sleep extra early to be prepared for the full moon. So we predicted the pattern of the moon, but there's also a pattern where the stars appear in the sky across the whole year. So the North Star moves around the sky at different times of the year, but it's always possible to predict where it will be. Learning where the North Star's pattern and movement will be is helpful if you're trying to navigate using the stars like Moana does. The North Star. And Jack and Annie used the North Star once too on one of their expeditions. The sun also has patterns that we can observe from the earth. We can predict where and when the sun will rise and when it will set at any location on the whole entire earth, the whole planet, at any time of the year, because these patterns are patterns. They always happen. So what do we know about our sun? When does the sun rise? And when does it set? When does the sun come up? And when does the sun go down? Okay?
The sun comes up in the morning.
Yeah, the sun comes up in the morning and it goes down at
Night.
But not in the Arctic. In the Arctic, the sun goes down in the morning and comes up at night. That's interesting. But the children in the Arctic, they still have to go to sleep at nighttime. So they have to go to sleep when the sun is up, when the whole sun is up and their whole house and bedroom is bright. They have to go to sleep. That would be really hard to do, right? So here's our main question. Can we predict auroras? is there a pattern to when they will appear in the sky? Auroras, they appear suddenly. They last a few minutes, maybe a few hours, and then they disappear. So it's not like every day they come and they just stay there. It can be even just for a couple minutes and then it will go away, the bright lights. So unlike the stars and the sun, there isn't a pattern to the auroras. Scientists haven't been able to figure it out. Like we predict when it's going to rain, we can't predict when the auroras are coming. But there is a pattern to where they appear. We don't know when they are coming, but we know where they will be. So because we have been able to communicate and travel all over, the Earth helped us share our observations and discover that there was a pattern to where the auroras appear. So we learned that they are most likely to be seen in two places, only two places, above the Arctic near an area called the North Pole. The North Pole sees auroras. And then above the Antarctica near the South Pole. The South Pole, remember, never eat soggy waffles. So now we know where they happen. We don't know when they happen, but we have to figure out why they happen. So why does this happen and only in those two places? Why can't it happen here? So we can see it, but here's the science behind it. So at first, when the scientists began studying, they thought that it was just lights and burning gases and dancing candle flames. Others thought it was steam from the cold Arctic. They were good hypotheses, but they were not right. So after the telescope was invented, this beautiful machine to see into our solar system, then they were able to figure out how the auroras happen. Small warning, don't ever look at the sun. Don't look directly at the sun because you can hurt your eyes. Okay? Wow. So after the telescope, scientists were able to see what looked like a white light shooting out from the sun. It was energy exploding from the surface of the sun. Then they noticed another pattern. Whenever there was a lot of energy being released from the sun, the auroras were more likely to be seen on Earth. So this was a clue that solar energy, the energy from the sun, and auroras were related somehow, but they didn't know how yet. When solar energy shoots out from the sun, some of it gets pulled to each end of the Earth. Solar energy is attracted to Earth's magnetic poles, the North and the South Pole. So that's what it is attracted to, the North and the South Pole. And you'll learn all about magnets and energy in first grade. So once the big burst of solar energy crashes into the air, then it goes to Earth's poles, the air starts to light up with color. And this is how auroras are created. Scientists don't know when it's going to happen, but they like to watch and record when they see the energy being released. So they can't predict when it's going to happen, but when it is happening, they like to watch it. So they'll watch the flare of solar energy, the energy from the sun, and they can predict when where the next auroras will be seen on Earth. So they don't know when, but they know where it will be. So many people from all over the world travel to the Arctic Circle, hoping to catch a glimpse of the beautiful northern lights. They want to see it. I want to see it. Do you want to see it? Yeah. Sometimes when the flares of energy are big enough, auroras can even be seen farther away from Earth's poles. Sometimes they can even be seen in the United States, our country. But there are some things that can prevent us from seeing it. So if we live in the city, which we all do, the city has buildings with lights and cars and highways and billboards, and it's just lit up. So at night in the city, it's not very dark because there are lights from all the buildings. So this doesn't allow us to see the night sky very well. Yes, Amelia?
Where I live, it's very quiet, and the section where I live isn't very big. So if the aurora came on the United States, I would probably be able to see it.
Oh my God, so exciting. I would love to see it too. The best place to see auroras is in the countryside, against the dark, cloudless night sky, far away from the city and all of the lights. Maybe one day you will be an astronomer or a geoscientist studying the sun and the earth, and then you can help us learn all about the auroras. So if any of you stay in school and go to college and become a geoscientist, make sure you come back to see Miss Marrero to tell me what you found, because there's still a lot we don't know about them. So everyone wants to see an aurora? I do. I wish this was something we can just go on a field trip and see. That was really cool. That was my favorite background building. All right, let's do our syllables. Aurora, aurora. North star, north star. Earth, earth. Moon, moon. Northern lights, northern lights. Satellite, satellite. Stars, stars. Sun, sun. Telescope, telescope. Very good. Thank you, Giovanni, for clapping with me. So there were a lot of cool things today, a lot of interesting things that we learned about. But what was your favorite? Think about it. And whatever you thought was the most interesting thing, that will be your message. Giovanni?
My message is I learned about the earth. The sun and the moon.
Okay. Say it again. I learned about the earth, sun, and moon.
Say it again. Say it again.
I learned about the earth,
No.
moon,
And what else?
sun.
There you go. All right. Go ahead and write a beautiful message. Bye.
Bye.
All right. What are you going to write, Lana?
The shape
Don't.
doesn't change.
There you go. It's actually the sun that's blocking part of the moon.
Bye.
Bye.
I can click this and
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Miss Marrero, don't forget, don't think I forgot about the gift that I have for you. It's still not here and I'm so upset.
Don't worry about it. You know, we'll be home all summer.
I've been emailing them back and forth like, when is my order coming in?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
I can press.
All right.
See you later.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. Jaden?
My sentence is I learned about the sun. Get out some energy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's what creates the auroras. That's a great message, Jaden. All right, Jaden.
Bye, I love you.
Love you too. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Emilia?
There is no pattern to the aurora, but we know where it happened.
Yay, that's beautiful. I love it. All right, Emilia. You are free to go. Have a great weekend. I will see you Monday.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay?
I learned about the northern light.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I think that the aliens are having a party.
Yeah, I like that. And you're writing a little bit about what you think too, your predictions, your thoughts. That's beautiful. All right.
I love you, Miss Marrero.
I love you too.
Back to school again.
I'm gonna see you soon when you come to get your kindergarten stuff.
Kindergarten stuff.
Yeah.
Do I have kindergarten stuff?
Yeah, you have to get your end of the year stuff. We have some things for you.
Like what?
Well, I can't tell you.
Bye.
Bye, love.
Mwah.
Mwah. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.